Hey YouTube, Mark here. It's my night for cooking again. Found a really good recipe in this low sodium slow cooker book. We've only made it once and it instantly kind of rocketed right up to one of our tops. There is a few changes that we've done to the recipe, and in fact the recipe I'm going to make for you today, it's actually double of what the actual recipe book is. I mean, we like it that much. We want to have leftovers, you know, Jen wants to have extra to take to work on those nights, and just stuff like that. The original recipe was a vegetarian dish. We added some chicken to it, okay? There's other things too. There's honey in there, so if you're like really truly vegan, you're not going to want to have the honey. It also had spaghetti noodles, but when we had it that first time, it tasted more Asian, so we wanted to go with more of an Asian noodle, so we ended up getting rice noodles this time. And I'll show you what we got going on here. I got everything already pre-cut and pre-measured and everything like that, and there's a fair amount of cutting involved because you got onions, peppers, carrots, and celery, and that's all sliced and diced. But let's get into this. Like I said, it's a wonderful meal. Slow cooker recipe. It's going to take about 5 hours in the slow cooker, and probably another, with all the chopping and measuring, probably another good 15 to 20 minutes just getting everything ready. But let's get into this. This is a wonderful meal. Oh, one more thing too. This has peanuts in it. So if you have a peanut allergy, you might not want to do this or substitute them out for something else. I think this would work really good with like cashews or something like that too. So give those a try. Okay, so let me run you through all the ingredients that we have here. We've got 2 diced bell peppers, 4 julienned carrots, 1 large onion diced up, 4 stalks of celery diced up. This was 4 teaspoons of basil. I've got 4 tablespoons of sriracha. This is 4 minced garlic cloves. And this was 3 tablespoons of homemade soy sauce. Got a 1.5 cups of honey. Got 4 cups of unsalted roasted Virginia peanuts. You can just use like a 20-ounce bag. And then I've got 2 pounds of rice noodles, which we'll cook off later. Oh, and because we made this a meat dish now, we actually cooked off a chicken a couple of days ago and just pulled the meat off the chicken. Okay, the directions on cooking the dish actually say to take some non-stick spray and spray around your kettle. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start pouring everything in. I'm going to start with the 1.5 cups of honey. Three tablespoons of homemade soy sauce. 4 minced garlic cloves. Got the sriracha sauce. Now, of course, if you don't want this much heat, you can leave it out, but with all that honey that's in there, it becomes excessively sweet if you don't have a little heat in there. Dry basil. Now I'm just going to kind of stir this all in. Okay, from here we're going to start adding our veggies, our celery, our onions, our carrots, and our green peppers. Then we'll just stir all this in. Get it all coated with that honey glaze that's at the bottom. Now we just need to lid it up and set it on low and let that go for 5 hours. Now the 5 hours is actually just the cooking time for the vegetables, okay? Now what happens is that after probably about, I'll probably give it 3.5 to 4 hours, I'll actually add the chicken in so that can get fully warmed through. Like I said, it's already pre-cooked, it just needs to warm up. And then, right around the 4.5 hour stage, I'm actually going to add the peanuts. I might even go as far as the full 5 hours. I'll add the peanuts and mix that all in. And then when I add the peanuts, that's when you actually cook off your noodles, and you just cook them off according to the manufacturer instructions. So you just boil them off in some water. With rice noodles, it takes like 8 minutes or something like that. By the time the noodles are done, the peanuts should actually be warmed through, and everything will be ready to eat. You just dish up your noodles, put the sauce on top. It's really good. Alright, so I'll see you a little bit later when the crock pot is ready to go for its next ingredient, which will be the chicken. 3.5 hours, somewhere in there. Okay, so it's probably been about 3.5 hours since we started up the crock pot. The vegetables have cooked down, so it's settled down a little bit more. You know, the level of it. There's also a lot of liquid in there, but now we can put it in the chicken and get that warming up. So you see how much the vegetables have actually cooked down. So we will add the pre-cooked chicken. Like I said, that's a full chicken. Okay, we'll let that cook for about another hour and a half. Okay, we've reached the 5 hour mark, so I'm going to dump in the 4 cups of peanuts, or 20 ounces of peanuts, whatever you want to call it. And we'll get that all stirred into the crock pot. I've also got a pot of water on the stove so we can start boiling up the noodles as well. Wow, that's a pretty full pot there, huh? Okay, got the peanuts all stirred into the crock pot. We got to boil off our noodles. I've got a pot down here on the stove with water, and it's heating up now, so time to boil off some noodles. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder if I'm supposed to rinse those off. There was so much starch that let loose in the water that was almost like a tapioca. There, I think that looks a lot better. Okay, time to dish up. Plate. Grab some rice noodles. Alright, now the few minutes that the peanuts were in there, they've been in there long enough to where it's all heated through. Get a nice amount of the chicken and vegetables on there. But I tell you, don't forget to add a couple of ladles of just the sauce. Mmm. There you go. There's a good meal. Yummy, yummy. Check that out. Whoa, lost some of my sauce. But man, I tell you, it's got so much flavor. You get a little spice from the from that sriracha. Then you get the sweetness from all that honey. And the peanuts still have a little bit of tooth, so you get a nice little crispy crunch in there. This is just amazing. You guys have got to try this. Now remember, all the stuff I did in the video was a double recipe. Down below in the description when I write it up, I'll actually put in the actual recipe amounts for a single batch recipe. This is really good though. You know what? I definitely like the rice noodles in here more than the spaghetti that we had last time. That made a lot of difference. Well, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the road. Yeah, that's right. That's good.